How's it guys, it's Dark Soul Ryusei. Welcome back to part 5 of the Demon Souls playthrough. In between now and the last video, Eric is no longer with me. So sad. But you'll notice a couple of marks like this one in front of me, if I can get a good angle on it, are down here. You can switch to read the message. I did not want to go to double-handed bearing, but no, my heart's breaking. Well, that's obviously very sarcastic, which we'll get to later about why they put that particular statement for the Blue Phantom. But yeah, you'll see like that shade right there. I know I kind of turned too fast, like a shade right over here. We are online now. Don't expect too much by the time this is being recorded. You know, Demon Souls, like I said, it's not an ancient game by any means. It's old enough. And like I said before, again, Dark Souls is out. Most of the PvPers are over there and are getting hyped for Dark Souls 2. So, I'm just saying, it's possible. You know, I look at us, no. Wrong menu. Look at us right now, we're soul level 16. Now, I'm not entirely certain if the same criteria matches for Demon Souls from Dark Souls as to who can invade who, or who can be summoned by who. But like I said, we're more than likely to find summoning signs to get people to help us so we can get some online co-op going here, more than likely. But there is definitely a chance where I could be invaded, and you'll see by the, or by a red message that'll appear at the bottom of the screen. But anyway, I digress. We have just finished defeating the Tower Knight, a very, 1-2 of the Boletarian Palace. So, if we were going in chronological order, the next area would be Stokefang Tunnel, Overworld 2. However, like we explained before, the great freedom of this game, depending on what character you want to create, etc., what weapons you might want to get, all that, you can actually mix match here. There's no reason to go in any linear order or a specific order. Go in whatever order you want for your character. We're actually going to go over here to the Shrine of Storms. However, before we do this, I need to do a little bit more prep here in the Nexus. So, I mentioned, or rather me and Eric mentioned about this mage. He won't talk to you unless you have at least Intelligence 10.
Are you here to face the demons? If so, please free Sage Frake the Visionary from the Dungeon of Latria. I will help you however I can. I can teach you elementary spells. Sage Frake is a gleaming hope for humankind, but I have not the power to save him alone.
Okay, so this guy, Frake's Apprentice, he'll be able to teach us rudimentary spells, as he said. Now, before, I used to incorporate Flame Toss as well as Soul Arrow. These are both very basic and very good starting spell casts. But we're only actually going to need Soul Arrow. Comes at a very fair price of 1,000 souls. Very useful, especially with the magic mechanics in this version of the Souls games. Flame Toss we really don't need. Enchant Weapon I will use on other builds. Speaking of other builds, I suppose I could go through really quick. This is not going to be the one and only time we see a Souls game, or rather, specifically Demon Souls on the channel. I might just go ahead, and now that we've done the whole rudimentary basics, story, etc., of Demon Souls, we might just do additional playthroughs just to showcase them, maybe in the future. Enchant Weapon is a very nice prelude to a very powerful version of Enchant Weapon later on if you want to go the spellcasting route. And then you have other tech spellcasts here, Cloak, Water Veil, etc., to hide you, prevent or lessen fire damage, and the like. But we're only going to need Soul Arrow. Now, you notice here at the very bottom right, you see there that red orb is, times 1. That's going to be how many slots in our memory slots that we have available, so just go ahead and equip it. Let's see, what else does this guy have to say?
Frake is a great sage who systemized the magic of the soul arts to make it possible for human imitation. By observing the state of Boletaria and the demons within it, he's likely to pave the way for greater things. All the more reason that I must meet Frake as soon as possible.
Okay, well, he really wants us to save Sage Frake. We can do that. There's certain conditions.
Be careful how you use it. Normally, it would not be granted to one such as yourself. I had to make an exception for the sake of Sage Frake.
Yes, so sad. Alright, as I was saying, I lost what I was about to say. Thanks, say Frake's apprentice. Anyway, I'm sure I'll remember somewhere. Oh, actually, yes. As you mentioned, he's in the Dungeon of Latria, which is actually just the Tower of Latria, which is World 3. We're not going to go here for a bit. Not a long time, but a bit. About halfway in. On top of being online, just to keep things a little bit more lively, even though the possibility is rather low, I'd just rather have the opportunity present than just have it just so stagnant being me offline. So let's go ahead and, okay, a couple of things. I guess we can talk to him now. What me and Eric were trying to do was to get him to get the following. He has a small, very simple quest line. You just keep talking to him. You can get some information out of him if you care for the dialogue. But being the sarcastic jerk that he is why somebody equally wrote My Heart's Breaking, even though it's clearly not for this guy. Just being a snobbish... whatever.
Well, you found yourself the demon soul, did you? I'm impressed. Yes, indeed I am. Stay the path, and you will soon be a monster yourself. Can't you see you've fallen for their trap?
Yeah, he's sort of fallen into a slump and a total cynic.
Have you seen my corporeal flesh? Has my body gone rotten?
Yes, you'll notice, since he's a blue phantom, he doesn't have his actual body. He's separated from it. Because of it, he's starting to lose his sanity. So bad to the point where this happens.
I'm sorry. Please leave me alone.
And then finally this. No, not the message. Talk to him again.
Who are you? I don't remember anything.
And that's what he'll be saying until... Come on, talk to him again. The same thing over and over again. Now, the next time we come here, something different is going to happen to him, but his quest line is effectively over. You do get something for it. Alright, here's the main in black. We can level up with her, but, let's see here. Okay, let's just go ahead and incorporate our souls. Get them in our total souls at the bottom. Renowned... let's see, Iron Demon, Grey Demon, these are the boss souls. Actually, I take it back, all three of these are. This is the Vanguard for the beginning, League Demon is Phalanx, and Tower Knight, respectively. Renowned Hero Soul, being the most. Usually if there's just one of them that I received, I'll just go into the menu and use the item here. If there are more than that, I'll just put them into item slots of the hotkeys. So yeah, Renowned Hero Soul, 1,000, not too bad. Looks like somebody is using a soul over there. You can see by the shade. You can sort of get an idea of what other characters or other players are doing with their characters by those shades. You can see us too. It'd be kind of cool to see us as well, but I guess we're getting the best vision of ourselves right here. Alright. Now, as far as demon souls themselves are concerned, the boss souls, you can do some things with them. You can forge them into specific weapons. You can break them straight up for souls, which they do have a good amount, more so than some of the itemized souls. A lot of the earlier bosses, they're not going to have as much souls as some of the higher tier regular consumable souls, but they still add more. If you're not going to get a spell, exchange it for a spell, which is the third thing you can do, or make it to a weapon, you might as well break it. Right now, I'll go ahead and I'll break the Phalanx's soul. Let's see how much we get for that. Yeah, 1520, not too bad. That's alright. So let's go ahead and level ourselves up and get ourselves ready for the Shrine of Storms.
Thou seekest soul power, dost thou not? Then touch the demon inside me.
You got it.
Soul of the mind.
Okay, let's see here.
Life's ether. Soul of the lost.
As you can hear, the
drawn
full
from
rendition of the
Let's
mantra
strength
she
to
was
grant
speaking,
so
which
the
revived
world
us the
might
first
be
time.
mended. So the world might be mended.
It's rather sweet, honestly. Okay, let's go ahead and increase our strength. We want our strength to be at least 32 at a certain point, with no doubt. Some of you who've played this game before know what I'm probably getting at. Endurance, I'm not worried too much about. I mean, it'll really help us. The endurance, you can see there, increases our equip burden. which is what we're going to want because this is going to be a heavier base character. We're pretty much making a tank. This character is effectively going to become, I'll tell you right now, is what I call a Dragon Knight. Or the best I could call it. We're going to have a dragon weapon. In order to do that, we need to have white or near perfect white world tendency of Stonefang Tunnel, but of course, we'll be getting to that next part. So let's see here. Dexterity is never going up, magic never going up, faith it needs to go up a little bit more, I think to 16. So let's just do it now, yeah. Okay, 16, our faith is completely done for this playthrough. After that, I'm just going to focus on strength. Alright, so strength at 20, not too bad. 12 more to go. Vitality and endurance, I'm just going to be rather modest with them right now. The point is we want to actually have the strength so that we use the weapon as soon as we get it. And then next I'm going to worry about endurance so we could use our armor as soon as we get it. And then we'll probably just put the rest to vitality and strength. And maybe a little bit of endurance there as necessary. But that's effectively going to be the extent of that, our leveling scale.
Art thou done? May thine strength help the world be mended.
And then that'll do it for here. Let's go ahead and just top off our items.
I can.
See here. Yeah, let's just go and repair these. Especially armor. Actually, you know what? Maybe the interest of saving souls actually... because we're not going to be keeping the armor for too much longer.
You come back alive.
That hairpin. That belongs to my daughter. Then she didn't make it after all. My dearest little baby. May she rest in peace. May I ask you a favor? Would you mind giving up that hairpin? I'd like to have it in memory of my daughter.
Okay, yeah, so the jade hair ornament that we found in World 1-1 of the Boletarian Palace, come to stockpile Thomas and you give it to him, you will get something for it.
You're a saint. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, I mustn't forget. It's not much, but please accept this as thanks. I'm a bit ashamed to say, but I found it one day, discarded on the main road. But it seems to possess a strange power. Anyway, I feel that you should have it. It will be happier in your hands.
And it gives us the Ring of Herculean Strength. This will help our equip burden, our item burden, not our equip burden. So if we ever have something on the field that'll tell us that we can't pick it up because it'll overweight us, we can actually go ahead and swap this out in a ring slot if we have the option to, which we might once or twice. And then we can actually carry it and then come back to stockpile Thomas and the Nexus and then lighten our load, as it were. Speaking of which...
I would be happy to lighten your load.
That's what I just said. Speaking of which, that's actually why we wanted to talk to him, aside from turning in that, the hair ornament. Yeah, so many sharp stones. I'm just gonna get rid of those. Point 2, yeah, the shards are about the same. 15 of those, they add up. Let's see here. Weapons are fine. No ammunition. Armor is fine. Let's get rid of the gash resistance. It all adds up. The cleaning ring we'll keep around, but we're, of course, trying not to have to use it. Get rid of the Lotus. Soldier's Lotus just helps you for bleeding. I'm not too much worried about bleeding in this game. You know, even my first playthrough when I was doing it blind, I didn't have much of a hard problem. So that's going to be that.
Rest assured, your goods are safe and sound with me. Best of luck to you.
Well, thank you. Okay, let's see here. You notice there's Ostrava. Once you've progressed certain characters or NPCs in certain worlds, you'll actually find them coming back to the Nexus. You can interact with them there. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and talk to Ostrava, and I'll see about what we're going to do afterwards.
At its peak, Boletaria was a grand kingdom. The king, his knights, and his subjects were modest and plain, but also steadfast and compassionate. In the distant southern kingdom, Boletaria was known as paradise on earth. But look at what has become of us now. I refuse to believe that this is what Father wished for our great land.
So yeah, just remember, in the grand scheme of things, Ostrava is, Alon's son.
Here in Boletaria, we speak of the legend of the two swords and the last hero. The two swords are Demonbrand and Soulbrand. One sword banishes that which befouls man, and the other banishes man himself. The last hero is old King Doran. King Doran is the Everlasting One, founder of Boletaria and protector of the two swords. Of course, only according to legend. But in the dark state of our land, legends are all we can depend upon.
Interesting interpretation, but I think that's about all he's gonna say story-wise. So let's go ahead and we're gonna do save quit out, so that the Crestfallen Knight will enter his last phase of his story. Okay, and when we return here, you'll notice that there's this item just sitting where he sat. It seems he might have deteriorated, and he finally just lost his soul. You get the soldier's soul. We'll use that a little bit later, but in the meantime, that's about all we need to do in the Nexus for the next phase of this playthrough. So let's go ahead and move on to the Shrine of Storms. I try to cut these loading screens out. It looks like from now on I'm just going to have to end up keeping them in. I'll try and cut them out whenever they're just not necessary. But just to prevent some spoilers, I know it's rather moot at this point, being such an old game as it is, but again, with my friends, I suppose it wouldn't hurt. It can't hurt. So yeah, I'm just going to keep this in. Speaking of which, here is a blue summoning sign, but before we do that, we have to pay attention to the new enemies in this world. These guys right here are extreme annoyances. These are silver skeletons. Their rolling attack with their swords do constant damage as they roll, and since there's no poise, they constantly make you flinch. Come on. Ah, darn it. I'm just doing really bad here all of a sudden. Nope, no, there's their shield break attack. Dude, that... Okay, that's just how aggravating it really is. Alright, I'm done acting bad. I'm sorry. So yeah, going from about 25, 36 souls per soldier, going to 200 and some odd from these silver skeletons, it's a pretty high increase. So naturally, as you might imagine, going in chronological order, the world's difficulties increase and then get more intense the deeper you go into that world. So this is effectively World 4. You know, any new player coming in here is probably going to get overwhelmed by these constantly aggressive skeletons. There's three kinds of skeletons here in the Shrine of Storms. There's the silver ones, which there are plenty of and very annoying. There are the black ones, which are very dangerous because they dual-wield katanas. As cool as that sounds, it's very dangerous. It'll get a shock of your life at how much health they cut off, especially at this point. And then there's gold skeletons. Gold skeletons are really... they're very situational, that's what makes them tough. They hit like a ton of bricks, which doesn't help. Ah, that jerk hit me on the side. Ah, shoot. Nope. I was trying to parry him. Yeah, brilliant move there, Archer. You go ahead and do that for me. The AI in this game is not nearly as intelligent as it makes itself seem sometimes, as far as the combat is. Let's see here. The great reason for having the Thieves' Ring at this point is that the range on these skeletons won't be nearly as unforgiving as if you didn't have the Thieves' Ring on. Okay, I probably have to back up here a second, or probably dual wield at some point to just to get one of them off my back. Oh no! I died! Oh no! Oh, first death.
You have died.
Alright, that's fine. That's what I get for being careless. Alright. Well, we can't have that, can we? Now, you notice since I died...
You have revived. Try
my
not to
tendency is
die
not
next
gonna move
time.
until I go back to the Nexus. But since I revived, I'll go back as a human because I am not going to die again. The tendency should move actually upwards because we are not only going to get what we need in this world and hop out because chronologically speaking it's a little bit more than we can supposedly take. We are actually going to take on the boss in this world because thanks to my magical ability it is easy as all hell. Funny, considering how I died to these stupid silver skeletons. You'll trust me, play this game, it's really annoying sometimes. You have to give me some credit, you know, live commentary while playing this game isn't the easiest thing. It's not super difficult, mind you, but it can slow down my timing as I try to keep coherent speech and not sound like a complete fool as I'm doing this, because I want to make this entertaining. Let's see here. Alright, I'll probably just drag this guy out and deal with him necessarily. Okay, well, this is fine. Now that we've dealt with the phenomena of me dying with souls, my bloodstain is going to be there where I died, or thereabouts where I died. And if I die again, they will disappear, replacing those souls with what the minuscule amount of souls I have right now. Clearly that's not going to happen, I won't let it happen. But that's what might. So, death counter is 1, let's not increase that souls lost counter at all. And he just went off the side again. What a genius. What I should have done here is because of the Thieves' Ring is inch up just to get the first one's attention. But just to show you that I can handle both of them, I'll just go ahead and aggro the second one while getting my...
You have regained your lost souls.
And once in a while I have to wake up my laptop. Oh, that's mean. Come on, don't get stuck and die again. Yes, please fall off the side. Flinching is a problem. This is their biggest problem, is they drain your endurance and then just follow up with these most annoying patterns. But retreating like I am right now is actually the best strategy you can do for yourself. Try not to get locked in a corner, which I kinda am right now. Wow.
You have died. Again.
Shoot, I promise I'm much better off commentary than this. There's Old King Doran in case you wanted to know. Feeling a little small inside right now, as I probably should, but I won't let that stop me. Because if I honestly wanted to, I could probably just cut this all out.
You have revived.
Alright, let's see here. So if I'm more quiet, that's why. So I'm focusing on getting rid of these guys. Well, the good news is, death count keeps going up. I honestly don't mind about that. It's more embarrassing to actually die to lose my souls than that. Because then I can't possibly make any progress. At the same time, this is actually very good for any players because you're kind of amassing the souls from the enemies you have to keep conquering to get to your souls again. And then it adds a little bit more on and on. It piles up, which is nice. These are the bloodstains of other people who have died around my level, so... yeah, there are still some people playing. It's definitely not that old a game. Alright. Let's do this. Knowing the archer and the rate he's going, every time he is stupid enough to hop off the side, I swear it manipulates the enemy AI to be so aggressive it kills me. Come on. I thought I got that. Like I said, the backstab meter on these things are really, really off. This is bad. Come on, alright. Nope. Nope. Worst player ever. How you doing? Alright. Well, if nothing else, my failure seems to attract views, so that's one good thing, I suppose. Archers aren't too bad to get behind. There, I kicked him off. Any difference? I could use Soul Arrow. They're not particularly vulnerable to magic. Come on. My biggest problem is I'm laying my shield down to try and arc out, because you can't backstab if you have your shield up. And trying to get a quick backstab. That's why I've been screwing up. And getting caught on the terrain doesn't help any bit either. Alright, I gotta take the offensive. No, I'm gonna get comboed to death. Damn it! I honestly thought I hit the dodge button at that point, but okay. Okay, come on, who's got... Ooh, thank you for both doing that and keeping yourselves occupied. There, I got one of them. Oh. I like to keep the suspense up, what can I say? That reach is terrible. Gotcha! Whew! Oh wow, I actually got a really rare weapon out of that. The Shodel is pretty nice. If you ever use the Shodel, you can ignore enemies, and including other players' shields. It's more valuable in Dark Souls than it is here. Speaking of which, I actually should probably equip the Catalyst. Alright, let's see. There's nothing really else to equip. I guess I could equip the Herculean Strength from my second ring slot. That's gonna be it. So yeah, more often than not, the bosses aren't gonna be a problem for somebody who's played this before. It's gonna be the enemies if you go into anywhere biting off more than you can chew. Let's go ahead and get Hero Soul here. There's two archers up there. They're not much of a problem. You just lead them on properly. What's really nice, of course, about peeking into these other worlds that you're quote-unquote under-leveled for is you get all the neat stuff for it. We really want to come across here because even though we have this item already, the Talisman of God, we need it for the same reason that we need the Brass Telescope, is because there is actually an NPC here, a friendly one, which you can trade items to and get really neat stuff. Actually, you see there in the distance, it's our good friend, the Vanguard Demon. He actually has a little bit more health from the one that we fought. He's not the same one. We did slay him. But there's a really nice way to cheap him out, and we're going to do that as well. You'll also notice up here is these awesome but eerie-looking flying stingrays. I believe they're Stormlings or something like that. I'll get their proper name up on annotation. There's a nice little bolt trap. If you want another skeleton from difficult skeleton for me to fight, here's our first instance of a red-eyed black skeleton. Dual wields those katanas. His jump attack, which is he almost always leads with, is his most dangerous one. Oh, look at how much damage I'm doing to him with just my halberd. Not even. Not even. That was a backstab. Oh, that breaks. Almost always breaks my guard. This guy is very dangerous, so I've really got to stay on him. I suppose what I could do is, as he tries to get up, I could try and catch him in a couple of swings, then back off. But yeah, that double swing is nasty. In any case, in the Souls games, you just do not want to get stuck on terrain. This would be a lot easier if I had poise like in Dark Souls, but what can I say? It comes with the territory. Dude, that was not... It was not meant to be a push. Obviously, it was a push, but... Not too bad. Got him under half health. You can try to parry this guy, but it's ill-advised for me, especially being as low-leveled as I am. And I honestly just don't, because they're so easy to backstab with all their overswings. Like so. That I really just don't ever take the time to try and parry him. You just stun lock him like his friends have been doing. But yes, he hurts like, you know what. So yeah, you know, 1227. It's well earned. Okay, these soul remains, they're consumable items. They're pretty much distractions. If you throw them out like so, you'll see, that was pretty far actually. You see that grouping at a distance of gold lights. And then most enemies, not bosses of course, will be distracted towards that. Here we get the Crescent Falcon. The Falcon is what the silver skeletons are using. And there's 6 of those. But this one has a prefix of Crescent. Crescent weapons, if you have them equipped, will slowly regain your magic meter. This is very useful, even if you're not a major in magic, since in Demon Souls we use a magic bar for doing such things as taking on the Vanguard Demon, as we will in a few minutes. Let's take care of this jerk. Those archers shouldn't be too much of a problem. You just stay more to the edge over here. Ah, shoot. He usually leads up. He'll 50-50. He'll either lead up with a slash or he'll be a jerk and he'll do another shield breaker. I got my souls back, right? I mean, I got my body back, right? That's technically what it's called. There is another archer over there in the distance, but I'm not going to worry about him too much. Only for that instance. He's over there. Where is he? Yeah, he's over there. Even with the Thieves' Ring, he can't still see me. Just go ahead and knock these guys down and finish them off down here. Oh, that was mean. I just fell, you jerk. Ah, whatever. I'll finish this guy off and take the hit. Well, thanks for showing me your back. Whatever. Now these guys can drop white arrows, which are very valuable arrows. They do magic damage, which will help out. But it's kind of rare, so not too bad. No, I didn't mean to dodge. Let's see here. There's a very useful ring that we can get here a lot sooner than you'd think to. So if you ever wanted to just come into this world to just pick up this stuff, is usually what I would do. But that we're going to do as we get as a shortcut. It's a skip, actually. It's a speedrunning trick. To go ahead and just head straight for the boss. As soon as you get up here, you can just ignore the enemies. You can go this way. You see where that red mark is? It's somebody sort of pointing out that it's there. We come down here if we want to talk to another, unlock another merchant. This trap, obvious trap, will set off a crossbolt, which will probably, it shouldn't one-shot you if you've invested your vitality. Your vitality is what? 12? If you have 9 vitality, it'll probably one-shot you, Eric. Sorry, inside joke. But other than that, it probably shouldn't. I guess if you have 12 vitality but weaker armor, not like heavy like the Temple Knight, then maybe. But yeah, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. It is very obvious that one is. But it is very punishing if you don't notice it. Coming in these corridors, we get, yay, more silver skeletons. Jackass. Nah, shoot. Nope, too soon. Nope, too late. Too late. Okay, enough of the fancy stuff. I'm just gonna finish them off. Or the attempted fancy stuff, because I didn't exactly pull it off, did I? I don't know how that translated to a backstab, but it did. Soul remains, eh. Actually, I still have my heal miracle. What's wrong with me? Ah, shoot! There's another guy. No, 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 no! Get your shield out! Oh, shame on me. I should have remembered that jerk was there. Oh, LP curse. You sort of kind of stung me already this video. Don't sting me again. Jeez, look at that reach. It's ridiculous. There. And you're not gonna get another chance because I'm just gonna two-hand you to death. Even if you try to roll away, it's not gonna work. Okay, head up like so. There's another jerk up here. This is crawling with silver skeletons. Ridiculous. Stop spamming your shield breaker. Oh, come on. That should have hit him. This is one way to cheap him out. Just let him... You want to go back down there? Alright, come on. Jackass. I landed your head like a Goomba. Dude, come on. Yeah, the game's more favorable to the enemy AIs if they start to turn, even though their back is clearly shown to you when you press the attack button. It's really annoying. Yeah, I should have enough MP for another heal miracle. It's not too bad. Let's see here. Where's the fresh spice? I do have some, I believe. No, just the old spice. You know what? That's fine. If things all go well. If things all go well. If all things go well. I suppose I was sort of grammatically correct. Whatever. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to let it slide. In the meantime, I actually show you what I was getting at with the Crescent weapon. Crescent Pelican. You see that'll be this blue glow about us. That's going to be a signaling that we can replenish our magic as long as this is out. It's about... You can actually see on the menu, too. Is there MP? Yeah, it's about 1 per 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Oh, yeah, it looks like 5. Yeah, about 5, give or take. Adjective guidance. We actually don't use this, but here is actually where the NPC is. I guess you could technically say this is the NPC we're going to be trading to. Well, I'll explain as we get closer.
You, Scary, give Sparkly me. Give Twinkly me. Me. You. Trade. Trade. Give me Sparkly, Twinkly.
This is Sparkly. It is a, I'm pretty sure it's a crow-human hybrid half-breed. If you give him certain, or she? If you give Sparkly certain items that are sparkly, twinkly, as, I'm gonna say she, as she wants, then she will trade you some awesome items. And we actually have a couple we've assembled. The, Agate of Guidance is one, so let's go ahead and drop it. Yeah, this is how you trade. You have to drop it near the tree. And if you something she'll accept, she'll say this.
Sparkly, happy, happy.
Now, in order to redeem the item, you have to save and quit out. Now, be careful. When you save and quit out, I forgot this one time, the enemies you've killed will respawn as well. So, that's just something to keep in mind. I got sniped by the archer sometimes. I didn't die, but it was definitely not nice. Yes, all this stuff as soon as we get in. Norman! Briar of the Twin Fangs. He's easily one of my most favorite characters in this game. We will meet up with him, and it will be hilarious. But not for a while, actually. So let's see, for the good of guidance, we get white arrows, 10 of them, not bad.
You! Scary, Sparkly, happy, happy. More trade? More trade? Give me Sparkly, Twinkly, please. Please, give. Give.
Alright, yikes. I didn't know her dialogue was so much longer. It's been a while since I actually listened through it. Let's see here. The soul remains won't. The brass telescope will.
Sparkly.
Okay. Let's go save quit again. This is pretty much it. As we get the items that we need, or that we should acquire. See, this is kind of why I wanted to cut out these sequences. Not too much happening. I'm just waiting for the loading to be finished as we jump back in here. I suppose I could talk about this. Now, since we're taking on the boss of World 4-1, you would probably imagine that he's kind of more difficult than the Tower Knight. Actually, if you know what to do, I suppose I know that can be said for all bosses in games, but so we get the Fragrant Ring. Quiet. Quiet. I know. Okay. The Fragrant Ring is pretty much just like our Crescent Falcon. It probably regenerates things at a faster rate, but it's pretty much the same thing. It's a little bit of magic regain over time. You have it equipped, and if we took the Crescent Falcon off, we still have the glow. If you have both of them on, they do stack. So this is actually a really good way, if you're willing to wait a tiny bit, to go ahead, and I should probably explain this while we're doing the save quit thing. Let's see here. Should this give anything for souls in particular? Here we go, the Talisman of God. The second one, rather.
Sparkly.
We're still going to want ours.
Happy.
Okay. Effects do stack. Very useful if you're willing to take the time. Don't have to worry about using any fresh spice or old spice if you want to hang on to those. Eric would, if he was here, he would tell you that's exactly it, because fresh and old spice are so useful, they must not thereby be used, according to his logic. Okay, let's see here. I think there might be one more thing that we need to trade to Sparkly in the meantime. Of course, we're going to come by here maybe once or twice more in the playthrough. Girl's Demon Soul. This is going to be very useful for the main weapon we're going to get. We need these as upgrade material instead of the typical upgrade shards that you have there. Let's see here. Nope, that's going to be it for now. Okay, that's it. If you come down here, like this message is probably indicating, take a step forward. There's a crystal lizard. I don't use any of the crystal lizards because of how jerky they are. We could actually come down here for the Stone of Ephemeral Eyes. And considering how badly I died at the beginning of this, I'm going to need to restock on them. So I have a grand 1 at the moment. Let's see here. Okay. Let's take on the Vanguard Demon. Or rather, let's cheap him out. This is what you're gonna do. But first, before we take him on, there's the rays go on a set path. There's one in particular that can give us not a major problem, it can be very annoying because he flies right across here. Actually, that was, yeah, see, that's him over there shooting at us. Oh shoot, I hit him off screen. Whatever. Yeah, 440 souls for not much health. And if you just have that basic spell, this is a really good early space to grind for souls. They drop Cloudstone. If you want, come to the Shrine of Storms. Because we really don't need these. I actually need to drop some of these weapons, because I'm just not going to use them at all. Just go ahead and drop them now rather than later. The shuttle, I'll keep it because it's so rare. It shouldn't weigh me down that badly. Okay, so, Vanguard Demon. He won't aggro until you reach a certain point. Yeah, if we get a little bit closer, he kind of sees that, oh, somebody's coming close. This message use spells on the next enemy, which is right in front of you. That's exactly what we're going to do. Okay, let's see here. Just to make this a little bit faster, I'll take off the Ephemeral Eyes. Put on the Old Spice. We're going to use 1 in this instance. Keep it a little bit closer till you can target him. And then poke him to death. And down he goes.
You have obtained the Demon's Soul, a power that is beyond human imagination.
Not too bad, 800 some odd souls. Let's go ahead and we don't really need the Crescent Moon right now. Crescent Moon, the Crescent Falcon right now. Let's get the Heater Shield, right. I said Harder Shield before, haven't I? In the other videos? Okay. Let's see here. And he drops the Grey Demon Soul. So now we have 2 Grey Demon Souls. This is 2 chances, of course, to get the weapon that you can make with the Vanguard Demon Soul. We get in Uchikatana, which is a katana, of course. One of the categories of Asian swords that you can use in this game. That's how they're that's what they're called. That's how they're categorized. I think we can find and snipe one of these storm rays when it comes around here. Anyway, there's an item down here. It's not particularly useful. It's a shard of more Cloudstone. Cloudstone, again, Eric would have a better inkling of what... Something shot at me. Yep, there you are. See, look, 81 health. Yikes. They pack a decent punch, but I guess that's what they are, just glass cannons. Alright, let's see here. Let's go through this fog gate. The speed up that you saw with the Vanguard Demon, we're going to be doing that once more. Even though it technically wasn't a boss health bar or anything like that, that does count as, you know, defeating a demon. So as soon as we leave, and after we beat the area boss, that's actually going to count +2 to our... towards White World tendency for Shrine of Storms. And it's going to be that same logic, rather that same mechanic that we're going to use for the Boletarian Palace in order to get the armor. So you get another black skeleton here. Just lather, rinse, repeat that strategy. Okay, I might have got a little bit greedy there trying to sneak up behind him. Get another backstab off. Of course, I don't want to make these episodes super long, but when I started this, I figured the episodes were going to be a little bit longer. I mean, I guess some of my earlier, like for my first LP, Paper Mario, were about 35, maybe 40 minutes long. You guys let me know if Demon Souls is fine enough to be about an hour or so long, because I don't want to split up the videos to be kind of boring if we had a segmented video with just us preparing at the Nexus, and then next video later, then we take on the world. Of course, I upload videos fairly often, but still, I think you want to get more out of the video rather than not. So, you know, let me know in the comments if it's fine, if you think you can handle it, or if you think it's probably better if I just separate them. Oh, he barely has any health left. Like, seriously, watch, poke. Oh! That would have been very bad if I had lower health. Soul remains. Keep giving me junk. Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and save a little bit more on our... It's not precious Crescent Moon Grass, but it's, you know, it has its uses. I'm dwindling at 8 here. We get the Educator's Shield. This is actually the name of the boss. And actually, if you look closely at the shield, it has a picture of the boss on it. For this world. The area boss. Let's see here if I can get a good shot in the light. And I know it might be difficult with the Dazzle's less than perfect graphics, but yeah. The Educator Shield is sort of like the Crescent Falcon and the Flagrant Ring, but instead of recovering NP, it recovers health. So that's a nice little thing. You'll also notice that the shield is much bigger than the Heater Shield. That's because it's a great shield. Instead of getting a parry, you get a bash. The parry is infinitely more useful. Then again, great shields benefit from better stamina reduction from blows, and better, so they hold up better. So if I had the Educator Shield against those skeletons, even though I messed up a lot and was so distracted by the commentary, I probably wouldn't have died at all. I would have come close, kind of like how I did with Black Skeleton over here, but I probably would have died. That's how useful it was, because they wouldn't have eaten up so much of my endurance. There's another trap here coming from behind. Just stick to the side. Whew. Now, I'm pretty sure, again, because of my armor and because of my vitality, if I was hit by all 3 of those, I might just barely survive. But yeah, they pack a pretty decent punch, so do be careful when moving around here. Yes, what me and Eric agree on completely. The climbing speed is abysmal in Demon Souls. So what I'm going to try and do is roll down here instead of having to climb down. There's a pretty nice treasure ahead. I think it's a stored soul. It might be grass. Yeah, it's half moon grass. That's not too bad. Actually, I did not know about this place for a little bit. If we were going to go the traditional, or rather intended way through this first part of Shrine of Storms to get to the Educator boss, you would probably want to take the sniper spot over here, and you can see down there, I know it's really hard to get into the Shard of Cloudstone. There's a gold demon down there. Let me see if I can get this guy. Oh, come on. There we go. Yay, more souls. Okay. Let's see here. Actually, let's see. Nope. Shoot. Wait, didn't I pick up the... I didn't pick up the bow last time? Shoot, I don't think I did. Okay. Well, whatever. Whoa. Oops, I equipped the katana. That's not good. I was overburdened, and that's what overburdened looks like for your character. You can't roll, and you pretty much just walk like this. Can't walk, or slow walk. You can't walk normally. So from roll eyes. Okay, so we're back up to 2 after that two huge screw-ups at the beginning of the video. Let's see here. Yeah, we just roll down here. Or just drop down here. I guess I could show some interaction with one of the gold skeletons. Watch me die now that I'm going to do this. Cover on the side before you fall down and get a renowned hero soul. Okay. My halberd, as you can imagine, being a starting weapon not upgraded, isn't doing as much damage as I'd like it to, because I'm saving my souls and my material for something else, and something is shooting at me! Where are you? Ah, jerk is flying over there. Biggest issue about dealing with the gold skeletons is because look at where you are. You're at the very edge of the world. You can easily be knocked off. Not much room to navigate. Their giant greatswords do a lot of endurance damage to your stamina bar. Especially if you don't have a great... Even if you had a great shield, they do an unfriendly amount of damage. But you also have to deal with a stupid storm ray shooting at you in the meantime. So yeah. What I'm probably going to do here is... I don't think they're particularly weak to magic. I might have a better shot if they were using... If I were using fire-based magic. But what I'm trying to do is get them over here to where I can deal with him a little bit better. I could probably punish that large swing with just a tiny bit of hit. No. Yikes, he almost got me. Okay, come on. Move it along. I'm not gonna fight you with a halberd. If I had our main weapon, I would. I would fight him over there on the shore, but right now I just want him over here so I can backstab him. Of course, another thing is you could use the very... Yikes, that swing. There you go. You can use the very thin edge of the cliff to try and maybe backstab or even push them off as well. You'll get the souls, but you might not get a Shard of Bladestone. Where are you? You shot at me where... He keeps getting me when he flies off back there. Or whatever. That's a gold skeleton. They're very scary. That one was, well, just one, but usually from now on, from over here, they'll come in twos, and then of course you'll have the storm rays to deal with. Thieves' Ring, very helpful, despite the fact that, of course, some of the storm rays will come closer than you would imagine, and maybe hit you off, putting you in a bit of a stressful situation. Important thing is not to panic, although considering my reaction to this video so far, a couple of them, I should really be taking my own advice. Okay, moving along. I'm backtracking for the main reason of showing you that skip that we can do now. We've done pretty much all we need to. Actually, no, I take that back. There's one more thing we can do here. So yeah, I know this was a long video. The other one shouldn't be as long. You notice there's a big hole down here where the Vanguard was. There's going to be a couple of more silver skeletons, but first a trap. This is an invisible wall. Behind it is a stupid skeleton. And behind him is another stupid skeleton. Silver skeleton. Okay, fine. At least I got rid of that one. I just don't want to get double teamed again. Alright, fine. Let's go where there's more there's some more breathing room. Come on. The bad thing is that I don't think, even though Eric tells me of a time when this first came out, they would roll infinitely. But I'm pretty sure that even though enemy NPCs do have a stamina limit, these things either have infinite stamina anyway, or their roll just doesn't take away from that stamina. No, because I totally need Crescent Moon Grass. No, whatever. That's fine. Let's see here. There's a key that we got from the other side of the broken bridge, and it opens this chamber to this vendor. We're not going to use him just yet. He's going to be useful for another trick much later down the line. I actually just want the Renowned Hero Soul. And that's about it. Nope, wrong spell. Make a note, you cannot use Soul Arrow with a talisman. Talismans are for miracles, wands are for spells. Let's see here. There's another... Nope, wrong one. We're coming up on another illusionary wall. Behind it is going to be another skeleton. It's going to be over here. Oh, you know, I totally thought the enemies regenerated. That's weird. Or maybe I just didn't attack him. Okay, fine, whatever. Now that we've freed that vendor, he's going to be where we need him to be later down the line in the next area of this world. But of course, as I mentioned before at the beginning of the video, we're actually going to head to Stonefang after we're done with our business here. Here's the other archer I was worried about before. Just go ahead and try and shoot. Like the other archers, he has a chance of dropping those. You can drop a bow. I mean, I know that we get. Did that light arrow come from him? Because I'm pretty sure just the longbow comes here. Yeah, I think that came from him. Okay, good. So we got the desired drop from him. So anyway, the speedrunning tactic, and as we, the easier way to get to the boss is save you a lot. Okay, it's the traps that reset. It's not the enemies that respawn. Okay, that's what it is. But what you want to do here is, in order to get a very valuable ring much sooner and bypass all the hell of dealing with those that cliff with the gold skeletons and the storm rays, what we want to do is I'm going to remove all my armor so that I get the fast roll. Much nicer. What I'm going to do here is do it at the very edge of this platform. I'm going to land right where the red sign was that we saw earlier. That's me totally failing again. That record button, you cursed me so. There we go. And I'm on a ledge, or I shouldn't be, and I'm going to drop to an area which I shouldn't be able to get to unless I went around the long and hard way. That came out wrong. Okay, so we get the Regenerator's Ring. Regenerator's Ring is just like how the Crescent Falcon is to the Abdicator's Shield. Regenerator's Ring will regenerate, well, our health after a while. So now we're on the other side. Let's go ahead and get some armament on before something one-shots me and adds another death tally. I have enough of those. Silly me, trying to play a Souls game without dying once. And I wasn't going to, of course I wasn't going to count the, that dragon killing us in the cutscene. It's required. That shouldn't be counted. I don't care about the crystal lizards. They're so annoying and stupid in this game. Okay, so this is pretty much where the boss is going to be. We're coming up to his door, his fog door. Just get a little bit more goodies around here. This little pillar can be annoying with its hitboxes as we try to make our way to another ring. I don't particularly use this ring all that much. It might have use in the future. But in the meantime, I'm just going to go ahead and get it because that's just usually what I do. Grave Robber's Ring. This will make it harder for in-game enemy Black Phantoms to find us. So I do believe it stacks with the Thieves Ring, which applies to all enemies, but this one in particular applies to enemy Black Phantoms, which we have not run into yet, but I'm sure we will soon. Okay, so now that that last trap was sprung, there is the boss fog door, but not before a black skeleton guarding it. So yeah, he's not too much of a problem. Let's go ahead and deal with him. This only problem, you see a couple of bloodstains there. The biggest issue with him is fighting him on the stairway. Because of this wonderful game's, or rather this game, oh, it is a wonderful game. Because of this game's wonky hit detection for backstabs and whatnot, you probably want to go ahead and maybe lead him up to where it's flat ground before you commence combat. Otherwise, it's just the same strategy as before. Yeah, my stamina was getting dangerously close to low there for a second. Come on, do your lunge. There we go. Oh, you should have got behind him. I had my shield lowered to do a backstab, but it didn't work. Until later. Yeah, I said one more. There we go. He's done. And more soul remains. I'm going to have to get rid of those. Okay, so let's pick up this item. More half-moon grass. Not too bad. We actually have a lot more half-moon grass than I was expecting us to have. Let's go ahead and heal up fully. So, before we take on the boss, I'm actually going to go ahead and take off the Thieves Ring, because there's really no need. He's always going to detect us. Put on the Flagrant Ring. And that should be enough. We're actually going to fight this boss with magic. We are not going to try and fight him at all. You can fight him using a melee strategy. I might show that off later, but I sincerely doubt it. So go ahead and maybe try to look up for somebody else who fights him with melee. This is just the smarter way to fight him. Okay, so in dealing with the Abdicator, you want to come over here. He's down there. And be thankful the graphics aren't so great on the Dazzle because he is ugly. Oh man, almost fell. Okay, this is where we're going to fight him at. He carries... Ow. He carries the... What is it called again? I think it's the... It's not the Butcher's Knife. Is it? Well, anyway, he has a very annoying weapon with incredible reach. It'll always hit us, but you always want to just go back and forth between these two spots with good timing. He's going to use his tongue here sometimes. If I hit in the corner of either of these sides, it's going to be fine. Whoa, whoa. Multiple target points is annoying. Yeah, so the crown of his head is where you want to hit. Oh, shoot. Whew. I'm actually surprised I dodged that. The reach of his meat cleaver. There we go. It is one of the strongest, if not potentially the strongest weapon in the game when it comes to scaling and all that is concerned. He'll either attack with his tongue or hit with the meat cleaver, which has ridiculous reach and will clip through the ground. If you try to anticipate, as I have twice now in this fight, you'll be hit by it and it'll do devastating amount of damage. Thankfully, it looks like I take 2 shots from it, but still. just go ahead and... This is why I had the rings on. I didn't have to worry about regaining so much of my... Or rather, using up another old spice from my magic here. So it could recover in the meantime while I'm trying to predict his attacks. What you're supposed to do melee-wise is that there's something sticking out of his gut. You have to attack that to get him to fall over, just like with the Tower Knight. And then you use that to go over just like the Tower Knight and hit his crown. I'm running kind of low on magic. I could probably cast once more, but it looks like I need 2 more casts, or maybe even 3 to finish him off again. Oh, I shouldn't have passed through the center. He hit me with his tongue. That almost got me. Okay. Alright, I need 1 more cast, so... Shoot, it hit me. Oh, please don't die. He's got tongue again. Okay, that would be really bad if it hit me. We should be fine now. And get me again. Okay, he's gonna use his cleaver. There we go, he's done.
You have obtained the Demon Soul, a power that is beyond human imagination.
Oh man, let me tell you, look at those souls. Yikes. 11,700. Okay, so bosses are gonna have some treats along their way, along their battle, in their arena. Get ephemeralized there. I believe a soul item here. Here we go. And of course, the Swollen Demon Soul, which will give us his cleaver if we want to make it a weapon, arguably the strongest weapon in the game. Alright, well, after that fun time, I was much smoother when I'm not commentating, I promise. That'll be it for this part. I know it's been a long one, but we did a lot of preparatory stuff and a little bit of stuff ahead of time. I just thought I'd mix it up a bit, making a playthrough that didn't go in chronological order and was just blind clear cut like that. So thank you very much for joining me again, and I will see you guys for part 6, where I promise my playing will be a little bit more up to par. Unless this is better than me just going through the game, you know, all nonchalant and going through it just fine. You know, let me know in the comments, because, you know, I'm not complaining or anything. I'm just making a very astute note. I'm not getting any comments. So, with that, I will see you guys then. Thank you very much, and take care.